Shalom Yasharala, peace Israel, Barakta Yahweh, Barakta Yahweh Shai, Barakta Yahweh, Barakta Yahweh Shai, Barakta Yahweh, Barakta Yahweh Shai, Call Halayu, La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahab Bakar Kadash. The topic I'm gonna get into is love. Um, but first, you should ask yourself, or I want to ask is, what's love according to the scriptures? You know, let me get that. Love is an action. First, it's like 2 John chapter 1 verse 6. And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, ye shall walk in it. So love is keeping his commandments. We know that through the scriptures, commandments is given to the nation of Israel, Black, Spanish, and Native Seminole Indians. Let me just prove that. Psalm. Psalm chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his commandments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and for his judgments they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Right, so the law, statutes, and commandments given to Israel, the Israelites, so-called Black, Spanish, and Native Americans. And topic is love. You know, love is, as I read in 2 John verse 6, love is keeping his commandments. And also love is correcting your brother. You see your brother going off, your sister, you see her going off, you correct them. And whether they hear or forbear, you tell them. You know, you tell them, as it says in Titus. Let me get that. So this is the book of Titus, chapter 3 and verse 9, but Salakia. Titus chapter 3 verse 10. A man that is a heretic, after the first and second admonition, I should say, reject. So love, like I was saying, that's correcting your brother. After the first, second time you correct them, they don't want to hear. You keep it moving, you know. But who's our brothers according to the scriptures? Because this is important to know who's our brothers, you know, because we have enemies too. And we also have enemies within our own people, you know, because as it says in Zechariah 3 and 8, I can just get it, I'm just get it, that 2/3 are going to perish, you know, so 2/3 they're going to reject this knowledge, and they're going to mock and scoff you. say you crazy, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. They gonna say all this nonsense because they so wrapped up in America and society and how we should treat, how society betrays us. You know that they not hearkening to these words. Um, um, so I could, okay, 13 and 8. Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. Right, so 2/3 they're gonna die. 2/3 of the black Spaniards and Native Americans they're gonna perish in his lifetime. They're gonna be reborn in the kingdom. You know, so that's what it's talking about. I think it's in, I forget where it's at, but it says love your enemies. You know, because our enemies are going to be within our own people. But the real enemies are the so-called Edomites. You know, the so-called white man, the Arabs, all these other nations that's not black, Hispanic, the black, Hispanic, and Native American descent. You know, if they're not of them. If they're not of them, they a so-called African, Arab, so-called Jewish, or they're a typical European, so-called European, or Chinese, Japanese. Those are the true enemies that it says in Psalms 83. That let me just get that Psalms 83 real quick. I know I'm kind of jumping all over, but I'm trying to get everything that I say through the scriptures. I'm gonna just get straight to the point. Yeah. I'm gonna start at verse 1. Psalms 83 verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee lift up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Right, so those are them other 6 nations, because you know, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, he made 18 nations. 12 joined together to make the nation of Israel, so-called black Spaniards and Native Americans, Native and Seminole Indians. We make up the nation of Israel through the curses in Deuteronomy. But those other 6 nations, those are our enemies that counsel together, and they plan to keep us away from our true power. I wanted to get something out of. I wanted to get one out of Matthew's. Oh yeah, Matthew chapter 12 verse 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. You know, so this was Yahushua speaking, because it's in red. He said, I'm going to read it again. Matthew chapter 12, verse 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother. Right, so those are our brothers and sisters that we should love. And I read it earlier in Psalms that the laws, statutes, and commandments was given to the children of Israel. So who can we who do we show love to? Who do we correct if they going off? if they're going off, we only correct our brothers. The black, Spanish, and Native Americans. We don't care about these other nations. So showing love is showing love to the black, Spanish, and Native Americans to tell them to keep the law, statutes, commandments. You can't show love to the white man and tell him what's right according to the scriptures and tell him to keep these laws because it's not for him. But people they wanna save these other nations, but these other nations was not meant to serve Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let me get more scripture. Amos chapter 3 verse 1. Hear this word, O Yahweh Salakia. Amos chapter 3 verse 1. Hear this word that Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt. So he brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. That's the only nation that he's dealing with. Keep reading, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for your iniquities. He's punishing us. He has us in captivity right now because we sinned against him. We worshiping other gods. We breaking his commandments. We hard-headed. Same thing we doing today. We worshiping Caesar Borgia. We don't worship Yahweh Shai. Let me get another one. Psalm chapter 97 verse 10. Ye that love Yahweh hate evil. So the Israelites because we the only people who can love Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, because the law, statutes, and commandments, which is love for Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, they was only given to the Israelites. So we can only people that can love him, And it says, ye that love Yahweh, being the Israelites, hate evil. So we supposed to hate evil. We supposed to hate so-called homosexuality, being sodomite. We supposed to hate that. We supposed to hate shaving our beards. We supposed to hate shaving our heads. We supposed to hate all this wickedness that's going on in the earth, pedophilia. Hate all this wickedness because we love Yahweh. We keep the law, statutes, commandments. We supposed to hate eating shrimp, hate eating pork. We supposed to hate the wickedness that's going on in this world, hate evil. And it says, he preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. He preserveth the souls of the saints. He delivered them out of the hand of the wicked. We're in the hands of the wicked. The earth was given to the hand of the wicked. Esau, as it says in Genesis, he was given the fatness of the earth. That was his blessing. That was his that was his blessing, But Jacob, as it says in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, Jacob is the begin. Let me just give it. Second Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right. So in the kingdom, we're gonna have next. We got next, as it says in Daniel chapter 7 verse 18. We got next, children of Israel. This is more proof that the saints are children of Israel. Love It's keeping the commandments. Love is correcting your brother. We correct the children of Israel because we're the only people that's given the laws. Um, Psalms chapter 48, verse 14. He exalted the horn of his people, the people, Salaki, he exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. So the laws that was given to Israel, let me give one more verse in the Old Testament that proves that. Leviticus chapter 26, verse 46. These are the statutes and judgments and laws with Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. So Moses, he gave the law, statutes, commandments to Israel, you know. Salvation is for the Israelites. Let me get a few more scriptures on love. John chapter 15 and verse 9. As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. This is Yahweh Shah speaking. It says, if ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. Jump down to verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. So we love one another by correcting a brother, you know, give rebuke. Open rebuke is better than secret love, you know. So if a brother going off, you tell him he's going off, whether they hear or forbear, you know. Verse 15, Salaki, chapter 15, verse 13. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. He commands us to keep these laws, statutes, commandments. Yahushua laid down his life for the Israelites, so-called black Spaniards and Native Americans. And he said, if you love him, you would do what he commanded. He commanded us to keep his commandments, you know. To go down to verse 17, these things I command you, that ye love one another. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. So the world, that's why they crucified him, you know, because his doctrine, really his words, his wisdom from Yahweh, it was so sharp, you know, that they hated him, you know. They didn't believe he was the son of the Most High. They didn't believe he was the son of Yahweh. They didn't believe he was a God, you know. They didn't believe that this man that was born in the flesh, that he was to come to give, he was the Savior. They didn't believe that, so they crucified him